Сегодня Ташкент звучит иначе, в ритме джаза. А сегодня на сцене Крис Бутти, обладатель Грэмми и мировая звезда этого направления. How it feels to come as Uzbekistan for the second time?
Awesome. I mean, jazz musicians don't get to go to these far-reaching places that are so beautiful with regularity, and I feel so lucky. I very much remember the very first time we played Tashkent, walking around the streets and just seeing how respectful and beautiful this city is. I was expecting something completely different.
What you were expecting?
I mean, I love touring Ukraine and other places like that, but the roads are all like, and it's much more frenetic and stuff like this. And this is just so sophisticated. I don't know about the outskirts of Tashkent, but the city and people are walking around and respectful, and a lot of them are wearing suits. It was a really eye-opening experience 13 years ago. And then, as I said in the other interview, we played here in this venue, in this theater, and the audience rushed the stage with such joy. It was a very, very memorable. Not a lot of jazz musicians love popular singers. They want to, they come out of academia school and they want to just play jazz. They don't really admire someone like Bocelli or Streisand or Paul Simon, Sting, etc. I learned something very, very important from when I was in Joni Mitchell's band and we were doing a rehearsal and I was overplaying a bit. And she said, "Chris, I'm in the batter's box." That's a baseball analogy, sorry. I'm in the batter's box. Don't knock me out of the batter's box. I was like, interesting. That was 1998. I learned a very, very, very important lesson in that. So subsequently, when I work with singers, I try my best to allow them to have space and then fill in the gaps sensitively.
Почему вы решили посетить фестиваль именно сегодня?
Потому что сегодня будет интересный гость. Мне показалось, что будет что-то классное.
Ну, так как я люблю очень музыку слушать, в целом любые жанры, не только именно джаз, но джаз именно, так скажем, больше для души, для расслабления и что-то очень теплое и приятное.
Ну, мне на самом деле очень интересно, вот вся эта культура, музыка, искусство, вот меня очень сильно привлекло, и меня позвали друзья, сказали, что сегодня будет такое мероприятие.
Уже третий год подряд я прихожу на этот фестиваль. Во-первых, это замечательное событие, невероятно крутые звезды. Хочется, чтобы это было чаще, и хочется почувствовать, прикоснуться к прекрасному в эти знаменательные, замечательные мгновения, в эти последние, пока еще прохладные, теплые вечера.
First of all, we are coming here to check our location for our perform tomorrow, and tonight we will to see the Chris Butty perform.
Ну, слушайте, это вообще событие, которое раз в год бывает, и невозможно просто пропустить его. Это преступление, особенно для людей, которые интересуются хоть как-то музыкой, и это возможность послушать как музыкантов с узбекской сцены, так и мировых звезд.
And actually, it's an anniversary of the wedding of my wife and myself, and we were actually in one of his concerts, 12 years ago, and it's actually a very nice coincidence that we are here now.
Что для вас джаз, одним словом или ассоциацией?
Ну, это настроение.
Что-то очень комфортное, очень теплое. Ну, на самом деле у меня именно почему-то музыка ассоциируется с каким-то теплым чувством.
Одним словом, это же не сказать, это же нужно сейчас брать трубу или барабан и выражать свои эмоции. Эмоции, давайте пускай это будут эмоции.
А если ассоциацией?
Свобода?
Наверное, это самое главное — импровизация.
It's a soul of life.
Спокойствие души, мне кажется. Когда вы просто слушаете и наслаждаетесь такой живой музыкой.
С ассоциацией, ну вот Нью-Йорк, особенно 30-е, 40-е года.
Нью-Йорк, могу сказать, либо Майами.
In your view, how has the role of jazz evolved in today's global music landscape?
I have said this many times. I don't really care to comment on the state of jazz. In other words, if you ask John Mayer how he feels he fits in the pantheon of rock compared to the Beatles or Bob Dylan or Janis Joplin or something like that, John Mayer cares about John Mayer's career.
Yeah.
He wants the audience to love the show tonight, and he wants the audience to love the show tomorrow, and he wants the audience to remain with him as he is living and breathing on this earth. For the most part, we're in our own little bubble going from city to city to city, and my most important thing, especially now with social media, if we play a show in Pittsburgh, halfway through the show, people have already gone on social media and say, we love this guy, hire him back. And I walk off stage at the end, and Jeremy, my manager, is over there, will say, we're already booked next year for Pittsburgh. That's my number one job. That's what I care about most important in my life. And then subsequently, now over the years, people come up and say, this is our 17th time seeing you, and it's just so incredibly gratifying. Am I a traditional jazz artist? No. And so therefore, I'm not really the one to be able to comment on the state of jazz.
What do you expect most tonight from the audience?
I don't know. But I mean, based on the last time we were here and what happened in this theater, I'm expecting a lot of joy from us to them and from them to us. That would be my ultimate dream.